BOSS Radio.
We tried very, very hard to keep me out this game. I just got one question. What you afraid of?
I think we're gonna be friends.
Hardly. You niggas everybody just bored to the party. Standing outside in the cold rain, looking through the window, see you turn it up like car keys. So low with the mind frame, but I came with my game, cause ain't a damn thing gon' change. Stayed in my lane, fry label pay, sippin' Dre, saying to myself what 8 years gold chain. So I focus on the game plan, to put them all on the knees like they about to say amen. Got a crying like Rayman, ain't a strange man, all I wanted was the screens for the bandstand. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you'll be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory.
The cloud had opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly,
So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the
We're gonna
glory.
be friends.
Remember that little girl talking about what he's gonna do to obtain success. He was 10 toes down, made progress, while the congregation hated like Congress. I can't say I have a status, but Nipsey brought the hustle back, so now the bosses got this. We about the block back, can't stop that for the suburbs on the way to the projects. No longer treated like objects, tossed to the side, we glide, no matter with the weather. I remember living hard, so I have to stay fly, so baby, you fucking with a treasure. This ain't like a scary movie, the end it might just be a little bit gory. Nothing else is gonna stand in between me and glory.
We're gonna be friends.
suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly,
So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm
I
coming for
think
the
we're gonna
glory.
be friends.
My mom told me not to ever let these cowards play me. You lose it all in the blink of an eye. So true, while they pointing at the white man, they planted on my back while holding a big knife. Now they're gonna need a crossbow, cause I need 50 feet before I take a seat. Back to the wall, no room for slipping. Let me see it all when it comes to take a G. There's no fakery, the money come fast like a sale at the trap bakery. You could be kidding me, I'm still here to sweet lick like you some kind of candy man. This is for the time I spent. I know that baby out there is checking for me. I guarantee it's not me, but the
I
glory.
think we're gonna be friends.
suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly, the clouds have opened up, and I've been seen in all of my glory. Suddenly,
So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm coming for the glory. So I aim to get the stacks to the ceiling. When you hear this, you be feeling my story. I used to only want the money, but now I'm
I
coming for the
think we're
glory.
gonna be friends.
BOSS Radio, Southside Bosses, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the site or the radio station, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. This site does not endorse anything as the truth. That you will have to judge for yourself. But we try to speak the truth on the owner's behalf and reserve the right to question the supposed truth. In this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and government corruption, it is sometimes hard to get to the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to libel, discriminate, make hate, or annoy anyone. We believe that it is our constitutional First Amendment right of free speech to voice our opinions and our duty to the Constitution and country to expose the truth. This site takes no responsibility for the opinions of others and the postings of comments in chat rooms or forum posts.
As Mr. Flavor, I am proud to bring to you Mr. E, the music maestro.
How's everybody doing? What's everybody doing? How y'all doing this evening? This is your boy, Mr. E, Boss of the Southside Bosses, and you know how we get down here on BOSS Radio, where we bring y'all the best in underground. But today we are on Talking, but ain't saying nothing here on. We always got something to say here on Talking, but ain't saying nothing because man, that's what it's about. So we like to bring y'all some good music, and we also like to bring y'all some good topics. So we're going to be doing both today. Starting with my music right now, that was Glory you just got through listening to. So I want y'all to give me some props on that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about that. I've been holding on to that gem for a little while. If y'all been listening to BOSS Radio, then you've heard it. And if you haven't, I want to thank you for coming on right now and want to ask you to go ahead and join our Facebook group page, Bosses Retreat. You can also like us on Facebook at BOSS Podcast. And you also can go to our website at sbcmovement.com, where you'll be able to see all of our articles of good reggae artists that we have. Excuse me, I forgot to cut the phone down. Yeah, I gotta cut that down. Probably didn't do it, but it'll be all right. Anyways. But go there, please. And you can also follow our podcast, Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing, on all streaming services. So we are on all your favorite streaming services, from iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, more. You know what I'm saying? So all you got to do is just look it up, Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing podcast. You can also find us on other podcasts called What Would You Do, what we have on Sunday nights at 9. We won't be having it this Sunday, but the following Sunday after that, we'll be having it. And we're pretty much on What Would You Do. We come up with a scenario that couples or you would that people have gone through in relationships and in life, period. And we see exactly what you think about, how you feel about that scenario, about how the person that actually, because we talk about real life scenarios, things that are actually happening. And so we talk about what that person did and what would you do. And I'm telling you, it's always a blast. So until then, go ahead and join us on all those streaming services under What Would You Do, and check out our old episodes. I'm telling you, you're gonna crack up laughing. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop listening. I'm telling you right now. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow us and show us some love. Hit that like, subscribe, and follow buttons wherever you are. Also, share us to your family and friends. We want to we need to get out there. So share to your family and friends. Let us know exactly what you have going on. You could probably even be on the podcast. So make sure you reach out to us on Facebook. Again, that's at BOSS Podcast. But without further ado, we want to get some more music to you. But after the music, we will be coming back and talking about what is happening in Russia. And no, I'm not talking about the war per se. I'm talking about an effect of the war where Brittney Griner has been detained. And more specifically, how people feel about it. You can actually tell that this nation is still deeply divided. There has not been any change. And hopefully this will serve as a wake-up call to a lot of people that look like me. And without further ado, this is Mr. Eat a Gutter, baby. Me personally, with You Can Do It, here on Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. You heard me.
BOSS Southside
Scorp Beats.
Don't talk to him.
When I was down, ain't nobody give a shit. And now I'm on a nigga, gotta pay the rent. I done been there, I done done that ever since I was a kid. Said I always had ambition and my dreams was always big. You can do it. You can do it. Don't play no games. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, listen. You can do it. You can do it. If it's wrong, then make it right. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it.
I see what it means to be stuck at the bottom. How the bit dropped in the cage with travesty hit it, and everybody just said drop 'em. I've been buried alive, left to suffer to die, but I swear to you, I never gave up. Niggas squirming on the ground, tell them stay down, but I found a way up. Ever since my mom passed, I wandered throughout the wilderness, and she your daily missus. I never get the miss, never got used to the awkwardness. I'm feeling deep down in my chest. Use it as a passion to drive to get up on the grind and try to make it out the gutter. Born in the dough, so all I ever had was the everlasting struggle till I get a come up. And I can't stop there. My oldest Naciel needs a house on 100 acres real quick. Joaquin needs his own business that will have him on all 7 continents making deal pics. Only thing broke would be the generational curse. I won't leave my children living off worse. When cowards got to punch my ticket, then they got a brother leaving this all right here in the hearse.
When I was down, ain't nobody give a shit. And now I'm on a nigga, gotta pay the rent. I done been there, I done done that ever since I was a kid. Said I always had ambition and my dreams was always big. You can do it. You can do it. Don't play no games with them. You can do it. Yeah, listen. You can do it. Nobody tell you how to live. You can do it. If it's wrong, then make it right. I'm right here with you. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it.
Fell from the top real hard, put in my work, you could call me Hustle Guard. Charged up like a cell phone, now it's on, so I'm guaranteed to make it to the top. Fell bad, let the fade blow away, took the ritter, stayed in with a bulldozer, made a new way. When you focus on success, it's the best desire when it comes to your different mind states. Wait, patience was the key when it all fell down, had to understand that it wasn't in the plan. Goddamn, many hypocrites smiling as I fell, hoping that I break when I land. I couldn't see what I had was a pocket full of trash, as all the cowards that claimed to be my friend. Really hung around for the joy, never down for the boy, never wasn't even my fan. I get a do-over, leave their ass when I'm sober. Gotta focus on the spirit, getting a little colder. Everything I do is soda from the flow up. Had to own up and roll like a boulder. True soldier with a boss my frame. No way I'ma play, stop acting like you lame. I'm out of my business, doing me show. This outside riding, staying in my lane.
When I was down, ain't nobody give a shit. And now I'm on a nigga, gotta pay the rent. I done been there, I done done that ever since I was a kid. Said I always had ambition and my dreams was always big. You can do it. You can do it. Don't play no games with them. You can do it. Yeah, listen. You can do it. Nobody tell you how to live. You can do it. If it's wrong, then make it right. I'm right here with you. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you can do it.
BOSS, Southside Boss Radio.
Already, y'all already know, man, this early this morning that you can do it, man. So make sure you get out there and do it. Before we continue, I do want to just say that your boy is turning the big 4-0 real soon. Monday. Yeah. First day or second day of spring according to the Roman Greco calendar, but we all know it's the first day of spring, the first day of God's year. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. We might turn up for that. I might turn up solo. I might turn up on our own, not solo, but off the air. But y'all stay tuned for that. Hit that like, subscribe, and follow button to stay tuned for that. You heard me? But let's go ahead and get a more serious level, because right now I'm seeing a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of double standards that still exist in this nation. I guess it's all right to do that, but when it comes to people being like political prisoners and things of that nature, there's just for some reason people of color just can't get a break. All the way from well before Nelson Mandela, but Nelson Mandela for a lot of millennials and Generation X, that's a real prominent figure that was held captive for decades, and his wife held it down for him. And when he got out, he became president of the South African nation. And abolished apartheid. That was a big win for South Africa. So but other than that, he had to go through so much turmoil in order to get there. But if on the other end, if a European American was to get caught up in some situation like that, it's all hands on deck. We have to get them out ASAP, and they try their hardest to get them out, even if they don't see. So we're here to talk about these two nations that we actually live in. Because I'm sorry, we all know that there's two sides of this nation. There's one side of this nation that was that stood for peace, justice, and freedom, truth, and then there was the other nation that just stood for greed and just consumption. So we're gonna break this down a little bit, and we're gonna talk about Brittney Griner, how she got caught up in in Russia with allegedly with some vape pens with hashish oil in it. Now, the reason why I say allegedly, because she still has not been charged yet. She still has open charges and things of that nature. So it goes to what's really going on. There's something that's really going on. So I'm reading all of these posts, you know what I'm saying, up under the threads from when people or when news articles are shared on Facebook, and it's just horrific how people feel about any of this. So let me go ahead and get a couple of facts straight, because I'm seeing people say she should have knew better than to go to Russia when they were about to invade Ukraine. Well, let's go ahead and get this straight. She was over there before the United States started to warn people about that, because she had been playing for the basketball league over there in Moscow for about 5 years now. And in between, you know, at the time, 5 years ago, there was essential peace. I'm not going to say there was peace in Eastern Europe, but I will say there was some kind of people where people wasn't even paying too much attention to it. 2014 solidified Ukraine to be the sovereign nation, so people was like, okay, all right, well, they doing good now. Shit, so 2017, she got offered so much money to go over there and play ball, so guess what she did? She took that money. Ain't that the American dream? Ain't that what we supposed to do? Because if we're not supposed to do that, then why are you on here? Why are you over here saying this is the best country in the world? Because I thought that was one of y'all excuses to say that this is the best country in the world, that we can chase our dreams no matter where they are. So if you really look at it, maybe it's not actually the fact that she got caught with a vape pen over there, allegedly. I think it's more of a fact that maybe she just isn't supposed to be able to do whatever she wants to do, because, you know, so-called black people in this nation for the whole existence wasn't allowed to do what they wanted to do. I mean, that's history, right? Technically, that's history. Black people were brought over here from Africa because they weren't allowed to do what they wanted to do. They had to do what the other people wanted to do. Some of them are your ancestors. That's history. So as long as that's being history, you got no reason to even be crying about this shit, right? But for some reason, we still got you crying about it. So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit better than this. So she went over there, and not only has she been denied any American counsel or to be in touch by with the embassy or anything like that to even tell us that she's okay, we have to take the Russian consular's word for it. So why isn't Biden saying anything? Because if I remember correctly, there was a whole big deal, and it wasn't even Biden in office at the time, but there was a whole big deal. The whole nation was in an uproar when Trevor Reed, a former Marine, was accused of assaulting 2 officers and putting their life in danger, and he ended up getting, I believe, 10 years or 16 years. It was one of the two. But when he got, I know the U.S. couldn't get him out. They tried hard. What is it? They remember what happened with Trevor Reed, so they decided that they didn't have to. They're not going to waste their time with this one with this basketball player, because, you know, she shouldn't have been over there in the first place. Because if you listen to what the lawmaker Joaquin Castro of Texas said, he said that this follows a pattern of Russia wrongly detaining and imprisoning U.S. citizens, including Trevor Reed. U.S. citizens are not political pawns. He even said Brittney, Trevor, and other Americans must be safely returned. So if we have some people in the United States government that are wanting the safe return of Brittney, why is it that when you look at the United States, the citizens in it, why are we so torn? Why are we so evil about it? Because I'm looking at posts right now. We got one by Jomo. I guess, clever. Don't use your real name. You want to say nasty shit, don't say your real name. But let her rot. She elected to play there and carry paraphernalia. Oh, so she should rot over paraphernalia? I didn't know paraphernalia carried a life sentence. Technically, it doesn't even carry a life sentence in Russia. But you just want to let her rot. She's been going over there making money and paying U.S. taxes while living abroad. She elected to go play there and pay U.S. taxes. Because guess what? She still was a U.S. citizen. So you want her to rot. You would let another U.S. citizen rot. See, this is what I mean by getting stabbed in the back. That would have never happened. But it didn't happen to Trevor Reed. They was all in an uproar. All in an uproar. And not only that, but she elected to play over there. No, she accepted the opportunity to advance in her career. That's what she did. It was offered to her, and she accepted it. So elected to play over there, that's more of, her fighting to go play over there versus her getting offered a deal to make her life a better situation. And you want her to rot over a fucking vape pen. Let that sit on your brain. No. And we cared. It was an uproar when in Afghanistan when Biden left all those U.S. citizens over there. And some of them wanted to stay. That was the thing with me. They wanted to stay. And y'all got on Biden about him leaving them. Now, I understand there was some over there that didn't want to stay. And it was funny how they got the military out of there before they got the actual Americans out of there. But if that don't go to show you where your government stands, then you would never be able to see it. For real. And it's amazing how this will always be one of two things. It will always boil down to this is a race thing. Why does it? Because that's the only difference between the cases before Brittney's and Brittney's. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna go on a break here in a moment so we can let y'all hear some music. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. While we thinking that is one thing, I'm gonna tell you right now, Putin has been in Africa for the longest, helping them build, helping them achieve, and telling them things that they need to hear. Telling them things that they need to hear, such as you worshiping the Europeans like they gods. They ain't gods. We ain't gods. We are not God. Why y'all worship? That's crazy. That's why you don't own anything in your own land now. And he's right. And to hear that from a European is because black people don't listen to anything that don't come from white people. So there you go. There you go. It is, the proof is in the pudding. And I'm sorry. That's why you do have so many African. We're going to talk about that when we come back to African nations and why some of them are not going against Putin in this war. So when we come back from playing two songs by your boy, Mr. E, the Got a Baby, we're going to discuss why these African nations are not siding with Russia, but are not condemning or getting in Russia's way. So I want y'all to pay attention to that when we come back. You already know what this is.
As Mr. Flavor, I am proud to bring to you Mr. E, the music maestro.
You won't stop me now. No, I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Stronger than ever, make it through whatever.
Boy, this skinny little toothpick. When I came out, I bet the doctor thought I was mad sick. I got picked on the school a lot. The bully thought it didn't have a heart, it just feel like magic. But I came back strapping, I give it up easy, surprise the hell out of everyone. Better vow not to give up till they're gone, but I'll be here till I'm done. The enemy trying to make me run, cause money sticking me to live with crummy. But it's alright, now the first time I did it on my life, I'm used to living for me. So get money and spend it with people like me, and we can make it through these storms. When you got family and friends, you can make a hard blizzard in the winter, feel so warm. So when it's on, calculate on that before you enter our slums. It's been about a feel, you are the invaders, we're not gonna be able to be good chums. But when did you flick us up like plums, I ain't gonna choke us, shoot it down in the streets. And I ain't talking about just the police, there's murderers free, giving more people grief. But do we hear about that? Selective here, we give seeds that's clear blind flag. We're starting to notice the simple information till we clear the blind rat, so black that's trap. And you'll wonder why y'all going trap, popping up out schools that been gunned down. Always not funny when the shoe when you put up, when the rapper got their gun now.
till I'm in the ground. You won't stop me now. No, I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Stronger than ever, make it through whatever.
I saw the dude try to take me out, but the buster didn't know anything about my scalp. Come on, you know I'm from the south. Organized hits like a body count. Saw D2 when I took that route, ended up in Texas, watch out mouth. I can see the stomach coming up like walking down the street, similar to climbing mouse. When opportunity arises, a prayer like a lion hunted to proceed to pounce. Real close to bank robbers, go hit the same, get all the dough that I need to bounce. I'm known to come up off an ounce, even though my weight was 65. Even if I'm falling out, people needed me, so you know I'm gonna come back live. Come back ride, let it real clean cook on that stove. Now we shift up one wet to get our stats, each in the whole damn blow. Now we coming with a plan to take back what they stole to get what we're owed. I'ma go to go up, bluff, get rough, get tough, and make them cowards fold. If it didn't know my soul is gold, if it wasn't for my kids, I'd be so old. Right, these bones can make you grow some hold until your body's cold. Just like Tyson, I keep on fighting, my lyrics and knowledge is loose as lighting. I'll go shoot through the booth that the roots never mute and always shining.
till I'm in the ground. You won't stop me now. No, I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Stronger than ever, make it through whatever. You won't stop me now. I can do whatever, make it through whatever. I can do whatever, make it through whatever.
At the end, I'ma be the man of the land of so damn, cause I learned that scam. I'm watching the rich get a richer picture while we steadily eating spam. And it's hurting me even more. I'm hungry cause I'm no longer eating ham. But they trying to force it on me like go once. I know you people to find no plan. I'm gonna creep up on the branch, but putting canyons into that pocket. I'm gonna get me enough to stop it. I'm taking off, fire up the rocket. I'ma give me up out of here before they take me out like Johnny Cochran. I'ma give it higher than a plane and get the flying like Mary Poppin'. No stopping, let it be this dropping. No telling, will I be up telling? Paint, let me tell him in this game back to the bank of that shit. Hip hop, they hellin', trailing like a fucking loser. You can take the BS back to England. We hate the bland food that you're cooking. That's where we're truly the whole world sees it. Please give me a final reason to blow this up like a radical Muslim. Cradle to the grave. I thought of the citizen, this shit's puzzling. Now I'm back home with my family, back there, click back up with cousins. And we're gonna be fighting to the end. You know we always out here struggling.
Keep fighting till I'm in the ground. You won't stop me now. No, I can do whatever, make it through whatever. Stronger than ever, make it through whatever.
Have you ever seen someone do something so outrageous that you can't help but think, this stupid crazy situations happen all the time, and people get into situationships on a regular. So, What would you do if you were in their place? Check out our podcast as we discuss just that on What Would You Do podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all your other favorite streaming services. Make sure to search hashtag What Would You Do podcast.
Already. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that, man. This goes down every Sunday, except for this Sunday, because Monday is my solar return. So I'm leaving the 30s. God damn, I don't know how to feel about that, y'all. I heard it hurts worse than now. Does it? Do it really hurt worse than now? 40s. God, I ain't gonna lie. This hurts. But you already know I'm gonna keep it coming. I ain't gonna let it slow me down. I may have to get me a little cane here, or I already got a cane. See, I'm already ready for it. I'm subconsciously getting ready for this shit. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep coming with this funk, and make sure that y'all continue to get all this great content, because y'all know what it's really about. So make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, and follow buttons, and share us to your favorite family members, to your favorite friends, and then share it to your enemies. Let them know that's how you feel about them. So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving, because I wanted to talk about how Africa is mostly quiet and widespread and amid the widespread condemnation of Russia, because a lot of people we're not talking about Russia. Whenever we think about the world war, we don't think about Africa, which is very weird. How is it a world war when Africans was hardly involved? It was only involved, Egypt was only involved because it was colonized by Europe, and a couple other African countries was only involved because it was colonized by European nations, and they was owned by the European nations, so they didn't talk about them because they was a part of that European nation. So that European empire. So it really was no sovereign African nations that actually was involved in the world wars. So how was it a world war? Which brings up a good question about this one right now. When you got Russia and Ukraine going at each other, and the whole world is supposed to be condemning Russia and their actions, ain't that what they telling us? But when you go look at Africa is mostly like, huh? Hell no, we fucks with Russia. We fucks with Russia. They do. You know why they fucks with Russia? Because Putin been flooding them with money and all types of stuff, and even talking to them, giving them TED Talks about how they looking at the Europeans like they're gods, and that's why they don't own their land now. He's keeping it real with them. He's telling them, and he ain't doing it in a facetious way. He's not doing it in a malicious way. He's at all these 12 countries that decided to tell the UN that they were not condemning Russia and that they don't support nor condemn him. That slapped the UN in the face like, hold on, we're supposed to be on one accord. No, you don't listen to us. You flood us with all this bullshit. You take all of our resources while telling us you're giving us vaccines to keep us alive so that we can give you all of our resources more. And you don't look at us whenever we have a humanitarian crisis. You cause humanitarian crises, such as the murder of Gaddafi. And I don't want to hear that, his own people did it. Y'all know what y'all did. And for those that don't know what they did, you need to really go and read their fucking paperwork and find out what the fuck they did in Libya and why they did it. Because if they wouldn't have done it, Africa would not be a Russia and Ukraine incident, because Africa would be a predominant world power right now. Every nation in it would have been a predominant world power. So, with that being said, why would they side with the Western world when all the Western world has ever did was pillage them? That's it. And then y'all want to talk about China, and I know y'all saying I'm sounding like a communist right now, but y'all want to talk about China not helping Russia. You don't understand. They've been had this shit set up since way before Russia told the world that they was going to invade Ukraine. Been working together for decades. Y'all just not finding out about it. Talking about we just intercepted a message that Russia sent to China asking them for assistance, and we had to tell them. Russia ain't have to ask them for no goddamn assistance. That shit has already been set up. It should have been set up for the fucking jump. Y'all just didn't know about it. Now you getting whiffed that China may be helping them, or China may be doing something that facilitates what they're doing over there in Ukraine. And now you fishing. You're fucking fishing. And we know it's a fishing expedition. That's why those talks over there with the Chinese people that with the Chinese counterpart to the Secretary of State, I think it was, or Treasurer, whoever it was that went over there to China. That's why that shit took so goddamn long. Because China, like, we don't know what you're talking about. Be more specific. And you can't. You can't. Or you can go over there with your empty threats and your empty promises of what you're going to do in this whole time. You're not even worried about the people that is stuck in the American citizens that are stuck in Ukraine and in Russia right now. You wasn't worried about the United States citizens that was stuck in Afghanistan. You wasn't worried about anything that was going on in all these other nations unless you was benefiting from it. And now you want to ask these nations to help you? There's even a book written by one of your economic hitmen that tells how they used to put United States government used to put a lot of countries in fucked up predicaments by going to these countries that are pretty okay. They ain't doing great, but they okay. They happy with where they at. And you go there, you talk to the leader, and you grandize all the luxuries that he can have his country swimming in. If only he decides to invest. Well, he don't have money, but they got resources. So instead of investing the resources, you tell them to take out a loan from the bank, my bank. And with this loan, you'll be able to pay us so we can be able to get you all these luxuries into your nation. And you like the president, like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Sure, why not? So he don't know nothing about the banking system that you got. So when you hit him with that 18 to 27% APR interest rate, he don't know what the fuck that means. All he knows is that when he can't pay it back, you come asking for oil. You come asking for land. You come asking for all of these things to repo from these people. You didn't fully explain it. Like, I know you didn't fully explain it because you don't fully explain it to us. We get into contracts with y'all all the time and don't even realize what the process of it is being. So, with that being said, just mind the propaganda that y'all been getting. Because if you go and research the past, then you will see that this propaganda is newly built. Because there was so much we've known about China's close. We've known about it. You didn't know about it. And now they're trying to make it seem like it's something bigger than what it really is. The United States put them. Go look for the article that talks about China and Russia ditching the US dollar whenever they purchase oil. Because they no longer wanted to support the US in their efforts. And this was back in 2000, I believe, 13, 14, or 15. It was around that time when China quadrupled their gold amount. Because, that money is actually backed by gold. Russia, money is backed by gold. They don't have a fiat currency that is not backed by a natural resource. The United States natural resource, us. Slavery. And that's just economics. I'm not making that up. That's economics. You can go and ask any economist, what is backing the US dollar? The fact and belief that the US people will work. This is why your US dollar has been shrinking in these past 2 years, because we can't work, or we don't want to work for these bullshit companies no more. So now your US dollar is going depleted. Point plain and simple. That's how the US economy works. That's why it's faulty. My money shouldn't goddamn depend on you wanting to go to work. Fuck. I bust my ass for this. And now, because I bust my ass for $1 and you don't want to go to work, I now have 75 cents. What kind of sense does that make? Does that make any kind of sense? It does not. I know y'all want to say it's deeper than that. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've read all the semantics. I don't have a master's degree in economy and economics, but I've talked to several people who have master's degree in economics and in law. This is how I get my knowledge, because I talk to people who have it, and I read books, and I understand what I read because I know how to look up the words that I don't understand and understand the full context of these words that we've been using wrong, such as black. When our people invented the word that is associated with the word black in the first place, we said it was for animals. We said it was for things. We never said it was for a human. A human can never have been black. But, again, that's just what our ancestors said. And if you don't believe that, go research it. Because you didn't. You never researched it. You listened to good old European white daddy over there. Yeah, you did. I'm going to tell you how. Because he said he's been saying the same shit you've been saying for a lot longer than you've been saying it. So, show me one book by the ancestors before the United States inception. Before the United States inception. Before those Dutch motherfuckers, the Portuguese motherfuckers came over there on a slave ship named whatever, Santa and Penta Maria. Nah, I'm just playing. They made the slave ship. But you get what I'm saying. Before they brought them slave ships over there and snatched them Africans off the West Coast and brought them over here. Find out what ancestor before that time period called themselves black. And I guarantee you're going to be hard pressed to find one. But anyways, when you read these news clippings from 10, 15 years ago, you see that Russia and China has been working in Africa. And I was up under the false pretext that China was over there consuming Africa because they came over and they consumed Puerto Rico and they consumed some parts of Jamaica and Haiti. Haiti after the what was that earthquake they had? It was an earthquake, typhoon, hurricane, something. They got demolished. I got to look that up. But anyways, after that destruction happened over there, they ended up getting Chinese buying up everything, and they was calling it aid. And, in some ways they needed it, but, in other ways they could have done without getting taken over. But with that being said, still, this is why you have to do your own research. Because if you don't, you let these people tell you whatever they want. That's where the propaganda comes from. This is how you get. They've been telling you lies all your damn life, and you still want to believe them, while at the same time calling them a liar. I'm trying to understand how that works. I don't understand how that works. So, we got to be able to stop thinking, I guess, for ourselves. Because y'all sure are letting them think for you. So start thinking for yourselves. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking while I ain't saying nothing here on BOS's Radio. Hope y'all tune in. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow, and share to your favorite family members and to your favorite enemies. We want everybody to hear this podcast. You know what I'm talking about? We want to get we got to change the thought process that's been embedded in y'all for so long. No matter what color you claim, what status you claim, you need to get this information in your head. So go ahead and tune in, turn up, and zone out here on BOS's Radio, baby. Already. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. This is your boy, Mr. Eater Gutter, baby, on everything. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Like I said, we'll see you on we on TikTok as well. Just look up BOS's Radio on TikTok, Shakur Millette, because Facebook is tripping.
And we wasn't gonna say nothing about that shit. The recruits. Do this for my people, and that's on everything.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chase came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Forced into a situation for obliteration. Stuck us in the projects and started us racing. Casing up the game like we bout to hit a base. Stacking money cause we have to show them what they really facing. Invest in a motherfucking vest. We about to go to war and it's never gonna rest. I know there's no peace in the streets of America, land where the dark people stress. Oh yeah, it's one of them things at the time that we hang. I can see all the pain in the eyes of the brain. They infuse my fire like a kerosene blaze. When I learn about you average in the workers trying to say different ancestors did that, then I can do this. Definitely prove this niggas on his own shit. Taking my heritage, I'm strapped with that metal piece, so your motherfucker better cease and desist. Confidence style mixed with a little wild home wing to a diamond by carpet style. Tries have a coke and a smile. If you not with the movement, I bleed for my people every inch, every mile. Fly away, you don't like what I say. I'm coming from mine and you all gonna pay. I can see you afraid. What is the niggas and a mule that you promised yesterday? Okay, I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. Never round if you really wanna get it right now. I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. I'm around if you really wanna get it right now.
Yeah. When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chains came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
I ain't watching Trick, they killing ourselves off. They can't face it like I make it the best of too damn soft. Call a nigga in the cross, they master what's called boss. Like you bust up at the job, the cycle is not long. Not to mention prison, not living, they kill you so long. Can you see the plan, killing native people with a call? It's awful, but no one is left staring and all. We so decent, a time children on kill them all. This world crumbling like Mary Jane, just to keep my focus clear while I'm driving the left lane. The wood switch lane, but it's so much damn pain in the past, raining on the brain is different with the pain. It's ain't my only excuse, this is how they made me. There's 6 people in my head and they all hate me. But I'm a soldier, you motherfuckers can't take me. On everything I love is the truth, you can't break me. Souls of my ancestors, you listen to my spirit. If you hear it, it's enough to make you care my fucking spirit. My life is like a bus and I'ma be the one to steer it. I'm fighting for my people on everything till we clear it. Watch your focus and you know we fed up. You really gonna hate us when we get our bread up. Set up like nation, I'm getting impatient and trying to make the doctor really see the sick patient.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chase came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these back, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
USS Brittney.